He doesn't recognize me. I've spent 3 years planning this moment. The lighting, the entrance, the surgical precision of my tailored black suit, and Marcus Sterling doesn't even blink when I walk into his boardroom. He's too busy drowning, too desperate to notice the woman offering him a life raft is the same one he threw overboard. Ms. Cross. He extends his hand, and I take it. His palm is clammy. Good. Thank you for considering our company. The audacity makes my jaw ache, Mr. Sterling. I smile, and it's sharp enough to cut. I don't consider. I acquire. 6 years ago, Marcus Sterling was my husband. I was naive then, stupid really, believing love meant loyalty. I worked as his company's CFO, building Sterling Industries from the ground up while he played golf with investors and took credit for my strategies. When the SEC came knocking about embezzlement, I thought he'd defend me. Instead, he testified against me, forged documents, planted evidence, watched me get sentenced to 5 years with the same expression he wore when he proposed, calm, detached, perfectly rehearsed. Prison changes you. It strips away the softness, burns out the parts that trusted too easily. I spent 18 months in a cell learning everything about offshore accounts, shell corporations, and revenge. The other 30 months building an empire under a new name, Vivian Cross, venture capitalist ghost. Now Sterling Industries is hemorrhaging money, and I'm the only buyer willing to pay enough to keep Marcus out of bankruptcy. He thinks I'm his salvation. He has no idea I'm his reckoning. Our projections show, he starts, but I cut him off. Your projections are fiction. I slide a folder across the mahogany table. You've been covering losses with phantom revenue for 2 years. Your investors are circling. Your board wants your head and your wife. I pause, letting the word hang. She's filing for divorce and taking half of whatever's left. His face drains of color. How do you... I know everything, Marcus. I lean forward, and for the first time something flickers in his eyes. Recognition, fear? That's why you called me. He shifts in his chair and I catch it, the smallest crack in his armor. Marcus Sterling, the man who destroyed me with a signature, is terrified. Not of losing his company. Of being exposed. I need this deal, he says quietly. I know. I stand, smoothing my jacket. And I'll give it to you. But not today. What? You have 72 hours to convince me you're worth saving. I walk toward the door, then stop. Turn. Let him see the coldness in my smile. Prove you're more than a coward who frames innocent women to cover his own crimes. His face goes white. Who are you? I don't answer. The door clicks shut behind me, and I'm already planning phase 2. Destroy him slowly. Make him beg. Make him suffer the way I did, alone, betrayed. Watching everything he built crumble. But as I step into the elevator, my hands are shaking. Because for one terrible second in that boardroom, when Marcus looked at me with desperate, unguarded eyes, I didn't see the man who ruined me. Saw the man I loved. And that's the most dangerous thing of all. He shows up at my hotel at midnight. I'm halfway through. A glass of whiskey when the knock comes. Sharp, insistent. The rhythm of someone who's been drinking courage for hours. I consider ignoring it. Then I remember I want him off balance, vulnerable. This is perfect. I open the door in silk pajamas and no apology. Marcus looks wrecked. Tie loose, hair disheveled, eyes red-rimmed. You're her, he says. Not a question. An accusation. Evelyn. My real name sounds wrong in his mouth now. Foreign. Like he's speaking a dead language. Was, I correct. Evelyn died in prison. I'm what survived. He stumbles forward and I smell the scotch on his breath. I looked for you. After you got out, I tried to find you. To finish the job? I don't move from the doorway. Don't let him in, not yet. Make sure I stayed buried?
To apologize, the word lands like a slap.
I laugh, cold, sharp. You think sorry covers 5 years? Covers watching my mother die while I was locked up. Covers the guards, the inmates, the nights I stop. Swallow the memory. You don't get to apologize, Marcus. You get to pay? I know. His voice cracks. I know what I did. God, Evelyn, I was drowning. The company was failing and the feds were circling and I panicked. I thought if I gave them someone, they'd leave me alone. So you gave them me. Yes. He meets my eyes and there's something raw there, something that looks almost like remorse, and I've regretted it every single day since. I want to slam the door in his face, want to scream, to claw out the truth from his chest and make him choke on it. But I don't, because this is the moment I've been waiting for. Come in, I say. He hesitates, then steps inside. I close the door, lock it, pour him a drink he doesn't deserve and hand it to him anyway. Tell me everything, I command. Every lie. Every document you forged. Every conversation with your lawyer. Why? Because if you want me to save your company, I need to know exactly how deep your sins go. He drinks, then talks. It takes 2 hours. He confesses to falsifying financial reports, bribing an SEC investigator, manipulating evidence. He tells me about the panic attacks, the nightmares where I'm standing over him with a knife. He tells me his second wife, the one he married 6 months after I went to prison, never loved him. That she's leaving him for his business partner. Karma, I murmur. Karma, he agrees. Somewhere around 3 a.m., the confessions turn softer. He talks about the early days, when we were young and broke and building something real. When he loved me, before ambition rotted him from the inside out. You were the best thing I ever had, he whispers. And I destroyed you. Yes, I refill his glass. Mine too. You did. So why are you here? Why not just let me burn? I look at him, really look. At the man who shattered my life. The man I once loved so much it felt like breathing. Because burning you from the outside isn't enough, I say. I need you to burn yourself. He doesn't understand. Not yet. But when I lean forward, when I let my fingers brush his jaw, when I whisper, "You're going to help me take everything you love, Marcus. And you're going to thank me for it." He understands then, his eyes darken. "You're insane. You made me this way. He should leave. He should run." Instead, he kisses me, and I let him. We spend the next 3 days in a devil's bargain. By day, Marcus plays the desperate CEO, and I play the ruthless investor. We meet in boardrooms and exchange coldly professional emails. His lawyers draft contracts. My accountants dissect his company's corpse. By night, we meet in my hotel room and tear each other apart. It's not love. It's not even forgiveness. It's something darker. Punishment and penance wrapped in skin and sweat. Every touch is a confession. Every kiss tastes like betrayal. I hate you, I tell him on the third night, my nails digging into his shoulders. I know, he gasps. I hate me too. It should disgust me. This twisted intimacy with the man who ruined me. But instead, it feels like the only honest thing either of us has done in years. On the 4th day, I finalize the acquisition. Sterling Industries is mine. Every asset, every employee, every byte of data. Marcus signs the papers with shaking hands, and I watch his empire dissolve into my name. "Congratulations," he says hollowly. "You won." Not yet. I slide another document across the table. His face goes pale as he reads it. This is a confession. I lean back, fully notarized. "Every crime you committed, every lie you told. Signed by you last night." His eyes snap to mine. "What? You thought I'd forget?" "That rage and lust would make me stupid?" I smile. "Marcus, I recorded everything. Every word you said. Every crime you confessed to. And last night, while you were passed out drunk, you signed this." Horror floods his face. "You forged my signature." I learned from the best. He stands so fast his chair crashes backward. "You can't, Evelyn. If you release that, I'll go to prison." "Yes, I stand too. Meet his fury with ice, just like I did. I gave you everything. I told you the truth. His voice breaks. "I trusted you." The word shatters something in my chest. For a moment, one terrible, vulnerable moment, I see him as he was, the man who held me through my mother's funeral, who stayed up all night helping me finish my MBA thesis, who promised forever and meant it once. "You shouldn't have," I whisper. His face crumples. "Please, Evelyn, please, I'll do anything. I'll publicly admit what I did to you. I'll tell everyone you were innocent. Just don't send me to prison." And there it is. The moment I've been building toward. I should feel triumphant, victorious. Instead, I feel hollow. "Go home, Marcus." "What?" "I'm not releasing the confession." I turn away, can't look at him. Not yet. Maybe not ever. I don't know. Why? Because revenge was supposed to make me whole again. My voice cracks. But it just makes me you. Silence. Then his hand on my shoulder, tentative, gentle. "Evelyn, get out." He doesn't move. "Get out." This time, he does. The door closes and I'm alone with my empire, my revenge, my hollow victory. I sink to the floor and finally let myself break. I nod. Not Vivian Cross, the vengeful billionaire. Evelyn Reyes, the survivor. That's good. That's right. He smiles, and it's genuine. What will you do? Legal aid? Job training? All of it. Everything I needed when I got out and had nothing. And I'm starting with the woman who had the cell next to mine. Do you remember me talking about her? Carmen. She's out now and she's brilliant. Could have been anything, but nobody will hire her with a record. You're giving her a job. I'm giving her a company. She's going to run the whole operation. I'm just the money. Marcus's eyes shine with something that looks like pride. You're going to change lives. I'm going to try. I stand. The guard is moving toward us. This is goodbye, Marcus. I know. I won't visit again. I know that too. And I won't forgive you. Not today. Maybe not ever. I don't know if I can. He stands too. And for a moment we just look at each other. Two people who loved each other once, destroyed each other completely, and somehow survived to stand here in the aftermath. I don't need you to forgive me, he says quietly. But I need you to know something. Every good thing I ever did, every moment of courage I ever had, every time I was better than my worst instincts, it was because of you. Because you made me want to be worthy of you. I failed. Catastrophically. But you made me want to try. My throat closes. You don't get to say that, I know. But it's true anyway. The guard calls time. Other visitors are filing out. A woman is crying. A child waving goodbye to his father. Normal tragedy in an abnormal place, Evelyn? Marcus says as I turn to leave, I stop. Don't turn around, I'm proud of you. For surviving me. For becoming more than what I tried to reduce you to. You're extraordinary. You always were. I close my eyes. Breathe through the pain. Goodbye, Marcus. Goodbye, Evelyn. I walk out without looking back. Outside, the sun is setting, gold and crimson bleeding across the sky like an open wound trying to heal. I stand in the parking lot, breathing in freedom he'll never taste again, holding an empire built on his ruin and my resurrection. My phone buzzes. A text from Sarah, the surgeon. Dinner tonight? I'm making that pasta you love. I stare at the message. At the promise of normalcy. Of a future that has nothing to do with Marcus Sterling or Evelyn Reyes or the woman I was in that cell. I type, I'd love that. I'll bring wine, then I delete it and write the truth. I need to tell you something tonight. About my past. It's complicated. Her response is immediate. Okay, I'm here. Whatever it is. I pocket my phone and look back at the prison one last time. Marcus is in there somewhere, learning to live with his choices. And I'm out here, learning to do the same. For 7 years, my life has been defined by him, by what he did to me, by what I did in response, by revenge and justice and the space between. But standing here in this parking lot, with the sun setting and Sarah waiting and a foundation to build and women to help, I realize something fundamental has shifted. Marcus. Sterling doesn't own my story anymore, I do. Revenge didn't make me whole. Justice didn't either. And forgiveness? That's still a foreign country I may never visit. But maybe I don't need any of those things. Maybe I just need to wake up tomorrow and choose myself. Again. And again. Until it becomes the only choice I know how to make. I get in my car. I drive away from the prison. From the past, from the woman who needed Marcus to burn before she could rise. Because that woman, the one consumed by revenge, she's not who I am anymore. I'm Evelyn Reyes. I survived hell. I built heaven from the ashes, and I'm done, letting the man who lit the match define how I use the light. The road stretches out before me, and for the first time in 7 years, I don't know exactly where it leads, but I know one thing with absolute certainty. Wherever I'm going free. Marcus goes public on his own. I'm in a board meeting when my phone explodes with notifications. Twitter, LinkedIn, every major news outlet. And there he is, Marcus Sterling, standing in front of cameras, confessing everything. 6 years ago, I framed my wife for embezzlement to cover my own criminal negligence. I watched the live stream with numb fascination. He names names, provides evidence, implicates himself in crimes I didn't even know about. His career immolates in real time. My assistant asks if I'm okay. I don't know how to answer. By evening, the SEC has issued a warrant. By midnight, Marcus is in custody. And by dawn, my lawyers are calling because Marcus named me too. Not as a co-conspirator, as a victim. He's demanding my exoneration, offering his testimony, burning himself completely to resurrect my name. I should be celebrating. Instead, I'm driving to the detention center where they're holding him. The guard leads me to a small room with bulletproof glass. Marcus appears on the other side, pale, exhausted, still in yesterday's suit. We stare at each other through the barrier. Why? I finally ask. Because you were right. His voice is hoarse. I was a coward. I spent 6 years trying to live with what I did to you and I couldn't. So I did the only thing I could. I told the truth. You destroyed yourself. I was already destroyed. I just made it official. Silence. Then they're offering you a deal. Testimony for reduced sentencing. You could be out in 3 years. I know. Marcus, I'm taking the full term. 20 years, maybe more. I deserve it. My throat tightens. You're an idiot. Probably. He presses his palm against the glass. But at least I'm an honest one now. I should leave. Should let him rot. Should feel nothing but satisfaction at his downfall. But my hand moves on its own, rising, pressing against the glass opposite his. I spent 5 years hating you, I whisper. Building my entire life around destroying you. And now that you've destroyed yourself, I don't know who I am anymore. You're Evelyn Reyes. His eyes are too gentle, too knowing. The woman who survived hell and built heaven from the ashes. The woman I loved. The woman I betrayed. The woman who's better than me in every possible way. Tears burn my eyes. I hate you. No, I'll always hate you. I know that, too, but we don't move our hands. We stay like that two broken people separated by glass. And guilt and 6 years of destruction until the guard tells me visiting hours are over. As I walk away, Marcus calls out, Evelyn, I stop. Don't turn around, thank you, he says, for giving me the chance to be honest. Even if it destroyed me, I don't respond. Can't, because the truth is too complicated. I didn't give him anything. He gave himself. And somehow, that's worse than any revenge I could have planned. 1 year later, I'm testifying before Congress. Marcus's confession opened a floodgate. Dozens of corporate fraud cases, CC reforms, new whistleblower protections. My exoneration was national news. My company quadrupled in value. I'm on magazine covers, keynote stages, the Forbes 400. I'm everything I wanted to be. And I'm utterly alone. After the hearing, I drive to the prison where Marcus is serving his sentence. 23 years, no parole. He took full responsibility, refused every deal, pled guilty to everything. The prosecution called him a monster. His lawyer called him repentant. I don't know what to call him. The visiting room is different from the detention center. Harsher, more permanent. Marcus appears in prison orange, thinner than I've ever seen him, but somehow lighter too. There are new lines around his eyes, gray threading through his hair at the temples. Prison ages you differently, not with years, but with truth. You came, he says, sitting across from me. I came. We don't touch. There's no glass between us now, but the distance feels wider. I saw your testimony, he continues. You were brilliant. I learned from the worst. He smiles. Sad, genuine, fair. Silence stretches between us like a canyon. I can hear other visitors murmuring to inmates, a child laughing somewhere, the buzz of fluorescent lights overhead. Normal sounds in an abnormal place. Why am I here, Marcus? I don't know. You tell me. I look at my hands. At the Cartier watch I bought with his company's money. At the empire I built from his ashes. At the perfectly manicured nails that used to be broken and bleeding in a cell not unlike this one. I thought revenge would make me whole, I admit, but it just made me hollow. And then you confessed and I thought justice would fill the void. But it didn't, nothing does, so what now? I don't know. I meet his eyes. I spent 6 years loving you, 5 years hating you, and 1 year trying to figure out which version was real. Both, he says quietly. I was both. The man you loved and the monster who betrayed you. People aren't one thing, Evelyn. We're everything we've ever been, good and bad all at once. That's not an excuse. No. But it's the truth. I lean back, studying him, really seeing him. Do you regret it? Not the confession, the betrayal. If you could go back, would you do it differently? He doesn't hesitate. Yes, I'd burn the company before I'd hurt you. Liar. No. His voice is steel. I was weak then. I'm not anymore. Prison does that, strips away the excuses. I know exactly who I was. And I know I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be someone else. You think that matters? To you? Probably not. To me, it's everything. A guard walks past, keys jangling. Marcus watches him go, then turns back to me. I got your letters, I freeze. What letters? The ones you didn't send. He pulls something from his pocket, a small worn piece of paper. The guard must have approved it. My lawyer gave me copies. You wrote me 47 times in the last year. Never mailed a single one. Heat floods my face. He had no right. I'm glad he did. Marcus unfolds the paper carefully like it's precious. You want to know what I think about at night? Not my freedom. Not my company. Not even my regrets. I think about the woman who wrote these letters. The one who's still angry and confused and trying to understand why she can't just hate me cleanly. Stop. You wrote that you dream about me sometimes. That you wake up confused, not sure if you want to kill me or save me. His eyes find mine. I dream about you too. Every night. And in every dream, you're free. That's all I want, Evelyn. For you to be free of me. Then why did you confess? The words burst out raw and desperate. You could have just disappeared. Taken your punishment quietly. Why make it public? Why drag everything into the light? Because you couldn't do it. He says it simply like it's obvious. You had the evidence. You had the power. But you couldn't pull the trigger. So I did it for you. I didn't need you to. Yes, you did. He leans forward, intense. You needed closure. Real closure. Not revenge, not some hollow victory where you destroyed me from the shadows. You needed the world to know what happened, to see you vindicated, to understand that you were innocent. He pauses. I couldn't give you back the years I stole, but I could give you that. Tears burn my eyes and I hate him for it. Hate that after everything he can still crack me open with a few words. You don't get to be noble, I whisper. You don't get to martyr yourself and make me feel grateful. I'm not being noble. I'm being honest. For the first time in my life, I'm telling the complete truth. Consequences be damned. He reaches across the table, doesn't touch me, but his hand hovers close. I destroyed you because I was afraid, and then I watched you rebuild yourself into something I could never be, something extraordinary, and that scared me even more. Of what? That you never needed me at all. That everything we built, everything I thought was ours, it was always just you. Your vision, your brilliance, your strength. I was just the face in the suit taking credit. The admission hangs between us, stark and painful. You're right, I say finally. It was always me. I know. And you stole it anyway. Yes. And now you want, what? Forgiveness? Absolution? No. He pulls his hand back. I want you to leave here and never think about me again. I want you to build something so extraordinary that this, he gestures at the prison, at himself, at the wreckage of our past, becomes just a footnote in your story. Not the story itself. I want to hate him for that, for his calm acceptance, for finding peace in a cage while I'm drowning in freedom, but I can't. I met someone, I say abruptly. Something flickers in his eyes. Pain, maybe, or relief. Yeah, a trauma surgeon. She operates on gunshot victims, saves lives every day. Real lives, not just corporate empires. I twist my watch. She's brilliant and kind, and she has no idea who Marcus Sterling is. To her, I'm just Vivian. The woman I became. Do you love her? The question catches me off guard. I don't know. Maybe. She makes me feel safe. Then she's already better for you than I ever was. She is. I meet his eyes. But I can't let her in. Not completely. Because there's still this, I gesture between us, this unfinished thing that I can't let go of. So let go. How? My voice breaks. How do I let go of 6 years of love and 5 years of hate and 1 year of confusion? How do I just walk away from the man who destroyed me and then destroyed himself to save me? The same way you survive prison. His voice is gentle. One day at a time. One choice at a time. Choosing yourself over the ghost of us. A bell rings. 15-minute warning. Visiting hours almost over. I'm moving on, I tell him. Building something new. Something that has nothing to do with you. A foundation for wrongfully convicted women. I'm calling it the Evelyn Reyes Initiative. Your real name.